Good morning, gang. Afakasi Raider, Nutty Raider Nate. Back at it again for another edition of Wake Up Nation. Gotta have that Bone Thugs Wake Up tune going on in the background one time. It ain't the first of the month, but we're gonna get it cranking anyway. Anyways, Nutty Nate, what's happening?
What's happening? Hey, good to see y'all in chat. My boy Afakasi. Hey, we back at it. Like some Raider crack addicts. Hey, we get our face pushed in, but we come right back with some more. What's good?
You ever had your shit pushed in?
Oh man, no, not me.
Well, it seems to be a weekly occurrence being a Raider fan, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, salute to the chat. We got on 6. Good morning to you. I'm just here waiting for Amir, Sincere, and Samir to run for 69 yards and 16 touchdowns. Yeah, in our dreams, right? Or in Dustin's dreams. Anyways, El Capitan, Rafucha, nice to see you, my friend. Hope all is well. And Anthony, good morning to you. Yo, good morning. Salute to my guys, Afakasi, Raider, Nutty, Nate, and the Nation in the chat. Well, we still got a while to go, so we're hoping more people can pull up, but good to see you guys in the feed. But anyways, Nate, I don't know. Do you want to give your quick takes on the game again?
What happened? I didn't watch. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Hey, bro, I can't look away. I know it's fucking like a bad car accident, so I had to watch it. But
did you go?
No. I wanted to, but it just wasn't. It didn't make any sense. We've been sucking, and I'm glad I didn't buy tickets. But
right.
Yeah, for what 5 field goals? I'm straight. Good for Daniel Carlson, but our offense is not it. Our defense did their thing. They played their ass off. I'll give them that. With very little support from the offense, and I'd say the coaching staff in general, just making personnel decisions and stuff like that. We ended up cutting Nesta Jade Severa this week, I believe.
I saw that.
Which I thought was kind of head scratching. Like I thought he wanted to be here, but apparently he's a cancer in the locker room or something. Something's going on where he didn't agree with what was going on.
I like the guy, but there's been that stigma of him being a little bit immature, and I think even he will admit that. And maybe that's what reared its ugly head and got him out of here and off our roster. But once a Raider, always a Raider. I mean, at least he did some things as a 7th rounder. But anyways, Nate, continue.
It's sad though, because we had a chance to dump him off a year ago, and we could have got something for him from the Chiefs. But I'm not trying to help the Chiefs either. But it sucks. It sucks that we can't make talent like that work where we got it. And he seemed to be like the only defensive tackle that seemed to be working out of the rest of them. Although I'll say Matthew Butler. Matthew Butler is playing a lot better. He's playing a lot more aggressive. He's playing a lot more stout.
Is he now? I have not noticed Butler at all. The only time I noticed him was getting penalized. You sure?
Yeah, he's blowing shit up. He is blowing shit up.
Are you sure it's not the good Butler, Adam Butler?
No, it is the Matthew Butler, 91. Yeah.
All right, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
He's moving some guys around. He's not always in the best spot. His penalties are mostly effort penalties. So I can't.
Okay.
I gotta. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I'd like to see him play smarter, more calm. But at the same time, it's better than what we've been seeing, in my opinion. It's just my opinion, but yeah.
Hey, look. I got to be honest. Like, he's not somebody that I've kind of earmarked to pay attention to, and I haven't noticed him on the stat sheet per se. Like, I mean, he hasn't made any run stuffs for a loss or any sacks. So unless you're doing those kind of things, if you're making tackles, you're not really going to get much credit as a DT. But hey, if you've noticed him at least putting in some effort, then I can appreciate that. I mean, he's just another one of these interior guys that we bring in the door via the draft, and it's just not working out. You know what I mean? But yeah, whatever. No, anyways,
I know that the stats aren't there, but he is collapsing the pocket, and that's what I noticed. And to me, that means more than what he's been doing for that fact.
Right. Well, he'd want to be doing something. I mean, you're 3 seasons deep. If you ain't done if you're not going to amount to anything, even a decent rotational guy by your 3rd season, then you really know what we really know what we have in Matthew Butler and anyone else. So
yeah,
I'm just waiting for the day we draft an interior guy and they turn out to be even a reasonable starter. You know what I mean? But
I hear
got a
you.
few more guys in the chat. So salute to you, Ultimate Raider fan. Nice to see you in the panel, my friend. Hope all as well.
My dog.
Raider Nation salute panel. AR. Appreciate you, brother. North Cal Raider Jesse, always on time. Salute Afakasi and Nutty Raider Nate. Any other takes you want to get off your chest about the game?
Terrible game. I feel the coaching personnel, situational coaching is it's terrible. It's not ideal. It's not where I think we need to be. But everybody's been talking about it all week, so I don't want to harp on it. It was a fucking bad game. It was a bad game.
It was. Well, at least from an offensive standpoint and quarterback play standpoint. And you were talking about Nesta being waived. It was we picked up Zach Carter from the Bengals, a guy who, what can he do? Yeah. Whatever, you know what I mean? Let's take a flyer. Got nothing to lose. But the other, I guess you could say, big signing, I guess, with things considered and being that it's a position of need. And salute to you, 831 Raider and Anthony Estrada. I said hello to you already, but I'll say hello to you again. We signed Desmond Ridder from where was he from? The Cardinals, wasn't it?
He started with the Falcons. The Falcons ended up cutting him. He played a significant amount of games for the Falcons, and then they cut their ties with him pretty quickly. And he found a practice squad position with the Cardinals, and I guess we got lucky enough, you could say.
Well, there he is there. Thought I'd bring up a graphic with Mr. Ridder and his stats. I don't know if you guys can see it on the phones, but there it is there. So he is a guy, I did my research on him because I wasn't too sure when we made the signing, but from what I've understand, he was from the same school as Trey Tucker. So there is that connection there. He actually led the Bearcats to their first, it might have been their first, but they were undefeated back in 2021. They actually made that playoff 4 where they would go down to Alabama. But his draft stock apparently was really high going into the draft. Some people were even considering him to be a first-round talent. He fell to the third to the Atlanta Falcons, like you said. He was selected 8 picks after we picked up Dylan Parham. So he was given his chance to start there. He had his opportunities, hit and miss. I think he led the team to, I think his record was like 8-9. You can see the stats there, his touchdown to interception ratio, but something of note, like I noticed, like there's some yards there when it comes to rushing the ball, as well as he's scrambled for some touchdowns, which is something, you know what I mean? Like that's something that we haven't seen from our quarterback play for a while now. So it seems like he has some mobility. So yeah, but I guess the red flag for me is that like he was traded off from the Falcons to the Cardinals for a wide receiver, and he was beaten out by the guy they drafted in the 5th round, I think a Houston Cougar. I forgot his name, but anyways, he was relegated to the practice squad, which is where we picked him up from. So yeah, that's about the gist of my research. I haven't by recollection actually watched him play with my own 2 eyes, but at this point in time, I'm willing to try anything. I really don't want to see Gardner Minshew take the field again. But what say you? And salute to you, Willie May. Good morning to you. Hope all is well.
I'm done with Gardner. If there's any hope for this season, Desmond Raider takes over, and he has some chip on his shoulder. He wants to prove to the world that he belongs. And I saw his interview with
I did too.
Some reporters, and he got a little choked up about his daughter and who he does
I saw
it for,
that.
and that means something to me.
Right.
So that to me, you want to be here, you want to prove yourself. Let's go, bro. I got your back.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, for sure. And I like that. He seems hungry, which is something that, like, just the body language from Gardner Minshew when when he took over from AOC, he looked like a guy right from the jump that just didn't want to be on the field.
Yeah.
And this is a guy, Ritter, who is hungry for that second chance. And he got emotional about it, like you said, like in his interview process, like when he was talking to his family about getting another chance to play and possibly even start. You know, it's a second chance, and like I said, I mean, look, a guy who was once touted to be a first round prospect, like, I mean, there's something there with this guy. I don't know if we're going to get it out of him. And good morning to you, Egalitarian. Nice to see you in the feed, my friend. I'm not saying it's going to be this and that. He probably won't. He'll probably be just another one of these cats we're bringing into the quarterback carousel until we find the guy. But wouldn't that be a story if this guy could amount to anything? And even if, like, I'm hoping either him or Bradley starts against the Chiefs. Because for me, it's like, what have we got to lose, right?
Yeah.
If we lose, if they shit the bed and we get our butts kicked, like we're all expecting anyway, for me, it's a case of, so what? At least we tried something new.
Yeah.
But what if somehow, some way, they could lead this team to an impossible dream of a victory?
Yep.
That would just like turn my whole mood around and give me some hope. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a dream, and it's like, I'm just speaking this out loud. It's probably not going to happen, but any given Sunday, right?
Yeah. I'm done with Minshew, bro. I don't. He's cooked, bro. His velocity on the ball, his accuracy, everything is fucking. I can't believe how bad he is. None of this showed up on any film on any other team he played for. It's just all of a sudden he's a Raider and he lost his power, he lost his magic, he lost his moxie, all that good stuff we were holding on to when we signed him. I can't condone any more Minshew. He's cooked.
Right.
His confidence is shot. Like we're better off just go ahead and cutting him right now. We tried it, it didn't work. I'm with you, Carter Bradley, to see what that looks like.
Yeah.
I'm but
either one of those guys, either one of them.
To be honest, to be real, I think we're going to see Minshew this week again. I don't know how long his leash will be. Maybe to take him out by halftime, but I do believe we're going to see Minshew at least one more time, because after this week we have a bye week, and then we can prep one of these other two guys for a full week, 2 weeks before the next game against Cincinnati. So I think that's the plan from now. Hopefully Minshew can fucking pull some fucking magic out of his ass and stop picking his buggers or something. But yeah, I'm with you guys. Like, Minshew is not it. Yeah.
I understand that, and to be honest, like I to a point, I agree. If I was like, if he had a chance to learn the playbook, then I would say, yeah, start him. Like, we got nothing to lose. But since he's just been signed on a whim, like I personally would go with Carter Bradley. I'm with you, because I really don't want to see Minshew on the field again. Like what I saw last week.
Pathetic.
Not just his play, but also his demeanor. Like I could tell even before he set foot on the field. Like usually when you see quarterbacks, like when a quarterback is injured, the next man up is warming up, is like trying to get in the zone. Looks like he's ready to go. You know, showing some fire, showing some grit and some determination to, like, you know, like let's do it. You know, next man up. I'm ready. Yeah. I'm ready, coach. When I'm looking at Minshew, when I looked at him on the screen, he head down, just like really kind of mentality. He looked like a guy who just didn't want to be in there, and he played like it too.
He looked like he was
high on. See that.
He looked like he was high on Delta 8, that fake synthetic weed. Like he's out of it, bro. He's out of it. He looks uninterested. He looks unmotivated. It's not the same Minshew we saw playing for all these other teams that was scraping out wins. And I'll give it to him though. I will give it to him though. Getsy is not calling a favorable game for him. It's not.
Winning Brian.
they're not scheming up good play calls for him, in my opinion. I feel like we need to get him out of the pocket. We need to roll him out to his right. We got to shift the line protection that way. We got to. There's other stuff we can be doing to be helping him out, and just to sit him in the pocket like he's a pocket quarterback makes no fucking sense. It's almost like straight sabotage. So that's another thing to add to the equation.
Right. And good morning to Holly and Brian. Nice to see you in the feeds, my friends. I hope all is well. This one here, 831 Raider. I would like to see Bradley. He looked like a scrapper in preseason. Yeah, I saw that too. I saw that fire and energy from Bradley the few times he took the field, which is why he beat out the likes of that Jonathan Brown cat and who was it, Nathan Peterman in preseason for that, third man up, so to say. So I don't know. For me, it's just a case of what do we got to lose. But I will give you that, Nate. And to an extent, to Gardner Minshew, the offensive line, especially, did you see that play where he fumbled the ball? He had no time. He had not even a second to go through any progressions. They were already in his face. You know what I mean? So that offensive line protection needs to be better. You know what I'm saying? But and the other thing is the wide receiver room. I mean, look, besides Brock Bowers, who has he got? Who is he throwing to? Trey Tucker on the outside, who for me, I've said it how many times now. I like him as a spot guy, but as an outside guy, I do not like. He's not very good in the contested catches until proven otherwise. DJ Turner for me is a role rotational guy, special teams guy, which I like. DJ Turner's my guy. But I'm by no means under the assumption that he's anything more than that. I don't like seeing him as that number 2 option. He's just not that either. You know what I mean? We're putting these guys in there because we've got nothing better. Yeah. So I will give him those kind of concessions. Sorry, Nate. You look like you want to say something.
No, you're good, bro. You're cooking. Trey Tucker on that fumble, that scoop and score fumble. Trey Tucker called the blitz out. He was in the slot position. He called it out, but he continued to run his deep route, which he should have made himself available immediately for a quick pass. And our Minshew should have checked out the play. There's a few different things. There's blame to go all the way around.
Right.
It's ridiculous. The offensive line, it's so inconsistent because we haven't had the starting group in there maybe but once this year. And everybody's injured. We're kind of playing musical chairs. To their credit, that they're still kind of holding. They gave Minshew enough time. It's just the play calling.
Was Mumford in there? I thought he came back from injury, so he wasn't.
I didn't see Mumford out there. No.
Okay.
Unless it was a jumbo package, I didn't see him out there.
Right. I don't know. That needs to be better, protection wise. Run blocking. I guess that was the one positive. I guess was we at least established somewhat of a run game. I mean, Madison got going. Even Zamir on his few carries ran the ball decently well.
Yeah.
So I hope to see a continuation of that. Not going to hold my breath, but
the Rams' defensive front is real light in the ass up front there too. So we took advantage of that. And Madison, you're right. Madison was running hard. I thought a couple times he was going to break. This dude's going to break eventually because he kept. Right. He was shifty. He was explosive out of the holes, and that's what I like to see.
90+ yards for 4 yards a pop. That for me is good. That's a good day out for our running back room. That's probably the best running we've done all year. Without having to get too creative, you know what I mean? The other one was the Browns game where we had to kind of get creative to open up the run game, but this time it was just more straight down the line running, nothing too fancy, nothing too elaborate, you know what I mean? But I guess we'll see against the
maybe Getsy's been saving all his good play calls for this game. So
appreciate you, Jesse. Yeah, right.
Something to hold on to, but I'm not going to hold my breath.
Me neither. I mean, I don't think there's one Raider fan who isn't a complete homer that's in their heart of hearts believes that we're going to win this game.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, what I was talking before was just speaking out loud. What would be my dream scenario is that one of these young cats comes in and just like lights the house on fire and brings us a bit of cheer, like a victory that like would be, because of said circumstance, would be quite famous with us Raider faithful, right? You know.
Hey, if we can knock Mahomes out of the game and maybe the season, that's a win. That's a win in my book. And I know that's not.
Right.
I know that's not good to say, but I'm a Raider fan, and I don't want to see the Chiefs three-peat. If we can ruin their plans, maybe take out an offensive lineman. I don't know. I don't know. And to top it off, they ended up going to get Denard Hopkins. He's a pretty good wide receiver. I like Denard Hopkins a lot. I like the way he plays.
DeAndre Hopkins.
Is it DeAndre Hopkins? Okay, DeAndre. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Butchering names again, Nate.
Yeah, I do it every week. Stay tuned for next week. Yep. I got a couple more. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but he's a hell of a player. So if we can ruin their plans in any way, I don't know, fucking knock Andy Reid out on the sideline. Something weird happens. I'm looking for stuff like that now because I don't expect to win the game, but if we can hurt their chances of three-peating, I'm with that. However that looks, I don't care.
Let's say you channel that inner Richard Seymour. Just go up and either Iron Palm, Patty Mahomes, or I don't know, the coach, or even what is it, Travis Kelce. Speaking of Kelsey, that comment there by Rafucho.
Sorry.
Bowers versus.
Go ahead.
No, go.
I was gonna say let Brock Bowers steal Travis Kelce's girl.
Brock Bowers versus Travis Kelce should be an interesting fight of tight ends with great potential, but Bowers as a beast could eat Kelce alive. Well, look, Bowers is quickly establishing himself as, well, statistically, he's the best tight end in the league at the moment. And good morning to you, Xavier. Nice to see you in the feed, my friend. Salute to our baby Kurt got hurt. Oh, must be all that crowning him as baby Kurt for even done anything to deserve a nickname. On a serious note, I hope he gets well soon. I do like AOC. I just don't like him enough to give him a nickname, which I don't think he's done even close to enough to deserve yet. But anyways, salute to you, Severe. Nice to see you in the feed. What was I talking about? The Titans. Oh, that's right. Bowers. So statistically, he's leading the league, I think, in receptions and yards. So, you know, for a first-year guy to be able to achieve that, I mean, you know, he could be in that offensive MVP, you know, one of those leading candidates for that at the end of the year. I wouldn't put it past him to, you know, give him that award since he's been tearing it up.
Hands down, he's the bright spot of our team so far this year. No complaints from me. He's a grinder. He gets to work. Fucking almost catches everything thrown at him. Lowers his head and tries to break tackles. Efforts there. No complaints from me.
Morning, Freddie Chavez. Nice to see you in the feed, my friend. Yeah, for sure. And once again, what a breath of fresh air to get make a first round draft investment and for them to be a baller right from the jump. You know what I mean? Like, we don't get it right too often in the last few years when it comes to our first round draft investments. Looking at Tyree, looking at Alex Leatherwood, the list goes on. But Brock Bowers, you know what I'm saying? That once again is the bullseye for what you want to get from a first round draft investment. Not these cats that were waiting 2-3 years to do something and can't even establish himself as a decent rotational guy, even with injuries.
I hear
Looking
you.
at Tyree.
I hear you. Hey, we always draft for potential.
Nice to see you on my feet, my friend.
We always draft for potential. And we overlook talent. And it's crazy. It doesn't matter who the manager is or GM or the coaches or it doesn't matter. We always draft for potential, and that shit's crazy to me. So hopefully Telesco can do some more of this and we get a couple more best player available in the draft. If we suck this year, we suck. We got to get a top quarterback, and that's what it is. But if the best player available is a running back, if it's an offensive lineman, defensive lineman, I think we keep going this route. I think we have so many holes on our team that we can't just reach for a quarterback. In my opinion, I think we're a couple years out from filling a quarterback in at this moment. Especially
Gee.
with Getsy. Unless we get some kind of high profile offensive coordinator like everybody wants, I don't want Getsy to have anything to do with a new quarterback we bring in here.
For me personally, I'm under the stance of, as it stands right now, unless one of these young guys quickly establishes themselves as the guy. You know what I mean? I'm not just talking about like one little flash in the pan performance. I'm talking about from here on out to the end of the season. And I doubt that's going to happen. So that for me would be the only thing that changes my mind. It's quarterback by any means necessary next season when it comes to the first round of the draft. Like whoever they think is their guy, whatever it takes, we need to get that guy. And if we don't swing in the first round, we need to swing in the second round. Whatever it is, whatever it takes, get ourselves a guy that we can be somewhat confident or can believe that there's a future in. You know what I mean? But that's just me personally. Like the rest of the roster, we can sort out later in the draft or free agency or down the line. But for me, it's quarterback by any means necessary and at whatever cost. But anyways, Nate.
Hey, I hear you, bro. And if the quarterback lands in our lap, I'm go ahead and take him. But if we got to trade assets to get him, to go up and get him, to me it doesn't make any sense. We have too many holes. We're gonna hurt his progression with learning the offense, especially with what we have in place right now. I just don't have any faith that a quarterback is the fix right now. We got so many issues. I'm hoping Brady can make sense of it, and that maybe he knows more than me, so maybe he can fucking figure it out. So
was never going to be the fix right now, but a first round quarterback or a quarterback, wherever it is going to ideally is the fix for the future. However long that future might be, hopefully sooner rather than later. But we're never going to find the guy if we don't try. You know what I mean? We haven't tried early on in the draft since Derek Carr. That was the second round. And the last time we tried early on, and if you even want to consider it early on, was Terrell Pryor, which we gave a conditional third round pick. You know what I'm saying? And then before that was Jamarcus Russell. So let's just try. That's all I'm saying. Like if it doesn't pan out, we don't find the guy. It's more of the same shit. You know what I mean? Another draft whiff. It's like, so what? But the ultimate scenario, if we find the guy, like, hallelujah.
No, yeah, I hear you. I'm rather go the veteran route. I want to get a veteran QB at least for the time being, the 1 to 2 year kind of build up, and then we can
That's
kind
an
of get a
interesting
rookie.
one there.
Go ahead.
Sorry, man. I'm going to read that comment out in a second, but I'm going to say good morning to you, West Side. Hope all is well. We're used to fucking the draft up. Well, before I go to Severe's comment, just remember, West Side, like we got it right so far with this year's draft, and I'm hoping that can be the consistent moving forward, where we hit it out of the ballpark, at least with our first 2-3 draft picks, rather than having to rely on the back end of the draft to make it up for the whiffs that we drafted in the top end of the draft. But anyways, I'm going to go back to this comment by Severe. We haven't had a first round pick get a second contract since Colton. Those draft misses have killed our chance of building depth and are part of the reason for our struggles now. Right. That's a very interesting one, because when you think about it, yeah, like Colton Miller was one. Even before that, like Amari Cooper didn't get a second contract. Khalil Mack didn't get a second contract. The only other first round pick that I can think of that went on a second deal after his rookie contract ran out was Darren McFadden. That was a long time ago. So, wow, interesting.
Consistently making terrible decisions at personnel. Doesn't matter who the GM is. It's crazy. It's fucking crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm right there with you, but it's like I said, at least, and I'm going to read this comment out here by Raider Knight, because it's the first time I've seen you in my feed, my friend. At least we got it right this year. And that's giving me some confidence and some hope moving forward. I'm hoping this is going to be the consistent, not like what we've been doing of late, especially to that question there where these draft misses have killed our chance at building depth. Like, you know, especially the last 2 drafts. I've already highlighted that. Let me remove this comment. I'll bring it up in a second. Like on our last live, when you look at, like I said before, last year's draft, not this year's, but last year's, that being that we had 9 draft picks, and I thought at the time this is going to be one of the most important draft classes in our recent history. We need to get this right, because for me, it's going to dictate where we're going to be in the next year, 2 years, 3 years. And look what we did. We've whiffed so far on our top 3. We got ourselves a decent rotational guy in Trey Tucker. Aiden O'Connell, he's all right. I like him as that backup QB. As a starter, we'll see, but at least we got him there. After that, who was it? Who am I missing? Jacorian Bennett. Okay, he's the guy who we can say, yes, he's established himself as a good pick, like a good player, surprise player of the year for me. Very pleased with Jacorian Bennett's progress. And then after that, what? Amari Bernay? Where the fuck is that guy? Never see him on the field. What's he done? Nada. Christopher Smith. Same can be said about him. What's he done? Nada.
Yeah.
Nestor Silvera, a guy I liked in spots. You know what I mean? Like, he played with some grit and some aggression, but he got himself cut just today. Another whiff when it comes to that interior. So that, for me, that class is starting to really, the lack of production from across the board. And you could even go back to the first JMD draft class where we only got Parham and Thea Mumford. The rest of that class is a wash too. You know what I'm saying? These are the kind of classes that are hurting us in the long run. And salute to you, 2 cents and D Menace, my guys. Nice to see you in the feed. But I'm going to go back to this comment here. So I completely agree. We have to try and take that chance on drafting a first round QB, even if it doesn't work. Right. That for me is my mentality. Is like, if it doesn't work, so what? At least we tried. It's about time we try again. Anyways, man, go ahead.
I'm not against it. If they land if we're that bad and we get a top 5 pick, then whatever. Yeah, it's the best player available, most value. I get it. Let's do it. But if we end up like somewhere back there and we missed all the quarterbacks and then we got to trade up to go get them, that's I'm gonna be scratching my head again. I think we go best player available in the next couple of years. We ride it out with a veteran quarterback, but we'll see what happens. But I know everybody's fed up with the quarterback situation, and I with good reason. We haven't been very good at that position in a while. Even with Derek Carr, in my opinion, we've just been inconsistent as fuck.
But at least he had some good years. You know what I mean? Like the rest of these QBs, like, yes, I get it. I get the hate, and I get, like, people look at how it ended.
Good years, though. Those good years, bro, were his contract years, and that makes me mad when players play for the contract year, and then they kind of take it easy the next couple of years, and then they'll pick it back up when the contract's rolling around. So that to me is like an asterisk on his good years. Where I don't know, bro. He was just trying to get paid and pad his stats. In my opinion, I'm a Carr hater. Everybody knows that, but yeah,
right. And I respectfully don't share those sentiments. For me, it's like, I can appreciate at least he had some good years and he did some things with the Raiders. When I'm looking at the rest of these guys, the rest of the quarterbacks in the room, you look at the rest of the guys that we've had in the door since Rich Gannon. You know what I mean? Have either been absolutely terrible or pretty much mediocre, maybe a little bit above mediocre. There's some guys that I like Jason Campbell. I liked before he got hurt. Even Bruce Gradkowski, a guy who played with heart and grit. And Terrell Pryor always play. He was never going to be the long-term guy, but he was here for a good time, not a long time. You know what I mean? But like the quarterback carousel, it's been outside of Gannon and Carr. It's been woeful. You know what I mean? But like you're saying, bring in a veteran. Like a lot of these guys that we've tried with, they have been veterans, and they just don't work out. We keep looking for the next Rich Gannon. We're just not finding it.
Jimmy Garoppolo wasn't it though. He was dealing with that injury, that foot injury. We got to get somebody who's kind of healthy, somewhat fucking still got some tread on the tires.
Well, Minshew was healthy. Like there's nothing wrong with him.
Yeah, Minshew, that was just a hit and a miss. I don't understand what happened there.
Minshew, Garoppolo, Carson Palmer, Matt Shaw. Remember Matt Shaw?
Yeah.
At one point, he was a top 5 quarterback in the league. He comes over to us. He couldn't even, deservedly so. Derek Carr deservedly beat him in his rookie year, but still, what a fall from grace. A guy we picked up in the offseason that year. You know what I'm saying? A Matt Schaub as well. Remember Matt Flynn? Remember we grabbed him? God, the list goes on. Like I'm tired of trying with these veteran quarterbacks. Like these guys just ain't working out.
Yeah.
Like, let's at least draft a young cat and see if we can groom him to be the face of the franchise, which is what we desperately need.
Yeah, I just don't have a lot of faith in that approach. Just for the simple fact we haven't been very good at that. But hopefully Telesco is the new guy, the new face that can bring some know-how and Tom Brady's opinion, and
Right.
I don't know. There's hope. There's hope. Again, every year there's hope, but it's already week 7. It's already week 7, and a lot of guys are checked out. So,
but you're always going to miss with all the shots that you don't take.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Facts.
But that comment there, Matt McGloin. Well, Matt McGloin was an undrafted free agent who beat every incumbent that we brought into the door that was supposed to be the backup. So I don't know if you remember that, Jerry, but like there was a reason why he hung around for a while. He was actually decent as a backup guy. He was a preseason hero for many years, but like I would take Matt McGloin than many of these other guys that we've tried with, and that's not saying much. You know what I mean? Matt McGloin was by no means that great either, but it's to my point. But anyways, have you seen the injury report as it stands?
Just a little bit what you showed me before, but no, I didn't really look at it.
Okay, well there it is. There, I'm just gonna remove the rid of that, and there we go. All right, so that shows the players other than the injury report guys. So most people within the nation know what our injury report looks like. I think the newest addition would be AOC. He's officially been put on IR, so he's going to be out at least for most of the season. But there's the names there as it stands. Harrison Bryant is nursing elbow injury, didn't practice. Did he get carted off the field? Was that him who got carted off the field?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. I was kind of
for an elbow.
I was coming off a night shift. Do I remember correctly? He went down hurt.
He did go hurt, but I don't remember him getting carted.
Right. Okay. Maybe I don't know. I was coming off an all nighter watching the game in the morning, so my memory was a little hazy. But Adam Butler, limited practice. Max Crosby, full practice, but he's week in, week out trying to nurse that injured ankle. Tommy Eichenberg looks like he may be a chance to come back. Not that I really care because he hasn't really been that great. Same can be said about Kanai Mauga. Jacoby Meyers, that's a big one. He might be returning. He was in limited practice after missing last week's game.
It looked like he was
Colton
ready
Miller.
to go, yep.
Yeah,
it looked like he was ready to go. Yeah, so hopefully
that's
makes
good.
A difference. Yeah,
that gives us that might increase our chances from 0.2% to 0.5%.
Open the offense up a little bit. Yeah, give him some space. Yeah.
Colton Miller, he didn't practice. Okay.
That's
Dylan Parham, foot injury. Gardner Minshew, he's nursing an injured right elbow, but he's been in full practice. Jacorian Bennett's been in full practice, which is good. So, yeah. And then you got the names down there with all the Chiefs. Got much to think about that, Nutty Nate?
It's disappointing. Colton Miller is going to be. I was hoping he was getting better. He still struggled a lot this year, but hey, next guy up. Let's see what Mumford's doing.
Right.
Let's mix it up, I guess, because obviously that lineup wasn't working anyway. So let's try something different. The Colton Miller, you go ahead and sit out, big dog. Again,
I'd be all for trying Mumford at interior if and salute to you, Red October Hunt. Is that a Chiefs fan we see in here? But salute to you. What's a pretty cool looking what is it, sailor cap? But anyways, forgot what I was going to say. Mumford. I would like to see Mumford get a chance in there somewhere in that offensive line, but Dylan Parham being hurt, that's an interesting one. So, yeah, if he's out, why not give Mumford a shot at like playing on the interior. Oh, my bad, Red Hot October Hunt. My apologies. Salute to you, my friend. Anyways, Nutty Nate.
Dylan Parham. I mean, he's been missed a couple of weeks now already. Actually, Meredith has been playing pretty stout for being a smaller offensive lineman. We kind of gave him shit last week for him being too little, but he's pretty stout. You got to remember Jason Kelsey. He was also another considered a smaller offensive lineman, but he got the job done. Smart, scrappy.
My apologies again.
Yeah, and if it works, it works. I guess. But I like Meredith last year too, so he's a solid player.
All right.
He's just a little smaller. He's a little smaller for my liking. Pause, but yeah.
My guy Raider Joe. Good to see you in the feed, my friend. Top of the morning, fellas. It's looking pretty bleak, but the love never dies. Raider Nation for life, and I said that in my Australian accent. Well, that's my guy Raider Joe. He's been practicing. He's been getting better. I'd say he's a little bit better than Raider Critique. I don't know if you've heard his Aussie impersonation.
Put another shrimp on the barbie. No, that's terrible.
Say that again.
That was terrible. No.
Come on, do it.
Put another shrimp on the barbie.
You gotta add a good day, mate.
Good day, mate.
Not too bad. I'll give you a 6. A 6 out of 10. Not too bad. See, most Americans, like when they try to sound Australian, they actually sound British.
Oh shit. Yeah. I bet.
Thanks for the wrench. You've always had one, Raider Joe. I guess you never noticed it, but yeah, salute to you, my guy. Hope all is well, my friend. And we the people, good morning to you. Nice to see you in the feed, my friend. Yeah, kind of lost my chain of thought. Any other takes?
Coaching. It's we got to get better all around. It's disappointing too because the AP was like, we're going to get back to the basics and we gotta do the little stuff right and this and that.
Did you see that comment? I got another funny one from Westside. Nate just said Australia back decades with that accent. Well, according to many Americans, most of us live in outhouses and we live in little shanty towns and we have outhouses as bathrooms and that we have kangaroos and dingoes hopping all over the place.
You ever fought a kangaroo?
That's the stereotype. I got chased by a kangaroo when I was a kid. All right, so my hustle when I was a kid, me and my little street posse of kids, we used to jump the fence at the local golf course, and we used to like pick up balls and even steal people's balls and then sell it to them afterwards. And we collect enough balls and sold them for like 50 cents a pop. The end game was we wanted to buy Mortal Kombat 2 on the Super Nintendo. Yeah. Because back then it's just like $90 was like $900 and it was such a pipe dream. But we hustled our way to getting enough money to buy Mortal Kombat 2. But that was our little hustle. But anyways, in the middle of said hustle, the golf courses here, their little attraction is that they have kangaroos hopping around. And in the middle of trying to get a ball, one of the kangaroos chased after me. So I kind of legged it up out of there. Critique sounds like an Australian arm wrestler when he tries it. Well, he sounds like he sounds like Mel Gibson from the movie Braveheart. They may take our lives, they'll never take our freedom.
I love that movie.
I love it too, but for some reason, Critique does that instead of sounding Australian, which is funny because it's an Australian actor putting on a Scottish accent in Mel Gibson. I don't know.
Where's Critique from? Is he from Texas? Is that right?
Salute to you, Snoops, my guy. Yeah, he's from Texas.
Yeah.
Boxing kangaroos. Yep, you know it. Collecting balls. Pause. Do I really need to pause myself? I mean, we know what. Come on, get your head out of the gutter. I'm talking about a golf course, golf balls. Come on, dog. I love you, Westside. Was your posse on Broadway, Afakasi? Nope. I don't think so. Don't forget the dancing skills hour. Well, speaking of that,
yeah.
I got something in store for our Halloween special on either Monday or Tuesday. So you're gonna have to stay tuned. Me, my guy Westside, on 6, and Raider Critique. We got ourselves some costumes for the next live. So we thought it'd be a bit of fun to bring some, I don't know, a bit of cheer to the Raider Nation, being that it might be another rough day at the office next weekend, right?
Yeah.
Anyways.
Hey. You never know. You never know.
Any given Sunday. And just keep that tight lip, West Side.
I'm also hoping that maybe they're overlooking us so badly that we can sneak something in there. I know it's a long shot, but maybe for some reason that they try to run some sort of trickery plays and they try all their bag of tricks, and we could catch them, just punch them in the mouth like we did last time.
Right. Yeah, facts, man. It's not looking too great, but like what I said before, wouldn't that be something?
Yeah.
One of these young cats comes in and leads us to an impossible victory.
It wouldn't surprise me. This is some Raider shit. You know, we're not supposed to win, and everybody's down on us, and we go out there and fucking we go out there swinging. So
right. Well, it's always these other teams who, when they play the Raiders, they have these quarterbacks that magically and mystically just all of a sudden come out of nowhere and perform like all pros, right? So why can't it be us doing that to somebody else for a change? And Raider Joe says to scroll up. He has a question. Okay. Raider Joe, do you think AP should keep his job no matter what our record is this season?
Yeah, in my opinion, I think to keep switching out coaches and regimes, it's just that's part of the reason why we don't give first rounders a second contract. Or I think I said that right, but that's why a lot of these rookie first rounders don't get second contracts with us, because we're usually turning over by that time, 3 or 4 years down the road, and we're switching out head coaches, and it doesn't fit the system no more, and it's just a mix of misfits. And so if we could get some consistency, I know AP doesn't look good. I agree with everybody. It's his game management, his clock management, his personnel choices. That's all sus as fuck. But I think we got to get some consistency there, and hope that it works out. But I don't know. You never know now. It's Tom Brady. Tom Brady's in the building. Tom Brady might have a say in that. He might have somebody in mind or lined up. And to top it off, Tom Brady and Antonio Pierce might not like each other, because for that same reason that AP got Josh McDaniels fired for talking about beating him in the Super Bowls. That might be the same reason why AP might be out next year, because AP's not having a good year. On top of that, Tom Brady kind of holding a grudge against him for beating him in those Super Bowls. It's just that is petty, but it's also possible. So everything's on the line for me. I don't know. I'd say we keep him, but I don't know if we will.
I like this comment here by 2 cents. Keep changing tires, we'll never finish the race. Look, it's been very displeasing how the season has gone from a coaching standpoint, but despite whatever record it may be, and even if we don't win another game, I'm going to give next season to address the deficiencies in our roster, because this is a roster with a lot of holes just about everywhere. Unfortunate that we've had to find it out during the process of this season, but here we are. But yeah, I'm willing to give him at least another season to see what we can do, if he can learn from his mistakes, as well as give him another draft, free agency, where we're going to have a boatload of cash. So yeah, that's my take on that.
Well, look at it. Also, these other coach, John Gruden, his first year back, the second time around, he won 3 games that year. You know what I mean? It's his first year. We had a lot of expectations. We had a lot of hope, but it is his first year. I don't know, but to me, the wild card is Tom Brady. Tom Brady's
Right.
kind of taking over personnel decisions, which he should. So if he doesn't want to go with him, then it is what it is.
It is what it is. Westside KC not overlooking us after that training cat comments. Mahomes has this game circled, right? Yeah. Well, at least, like I said, on the flip side, when you're expecting shit to happen, anything but shit is gonna be a surprise, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And Eduardo, good morning to you. Strip sack from Crosby this weekend. Well, I hope so. That would be nice. Yeah. I mean, that's something he was able to achieve last week. He's now third on the all-time Raider sack list. So, good to see. Yeah. Well, what say you, Nate?
Let's go, Max. Yeah, it's if anybody has can play mind games with Mahomes, it's Max Crosby. Max Crosby rubs Patrick Mahomes a little differently, and it's if
What are you leaving us for? 2 cents.
Yeah,
he said that because when you flip up, if you scroll up with your thumb, like you go to a different channel, he says he accidentally flipped to another channel. It's an Oriental Dubino tub beatboxing. Huh. Okay. Afakasi salute. Nice to see you in the feed. Wild Turkey. Good to see you, my friend. Hope all is well.
my God.
Just in regards to Max Crosby, where would you have him in regards to the top defensive players in the last, well, since the turn of the millennium?
For the Raiders or just in general?
For the Raiders.
Well,
Strictly
considering where we drafted him, he's a 4th-round pick. He's a little skinny white boy out of Michigan. He's up there, right behind. I'm right behind Mac. Khalil Mack is definitely one of the best Raiders we've seen. He took over games and all that good stuff. But considering where we drafted Max Crosby, he's got to be up there, hands down. I can't think of a better player on defense other than Charles Woodson, Khalil Mack. Short list. Short list.
Namdi would be my next guy up after that.
Yeah, Namdi's up there. Yep.
Different position, but
Yep.
Yeah. But that's my Raider Mount Rushmore since the turn of the millennium. Namdi, Max, and Charles Woodson. Darrell Russell was nice. He was before my time, but I hear some good things about him. And Burgess, Derek Burgess would be another. But like for me, those 4 guys I would take over those 2 guys. And Richard Seymour, like Richard Seymour gets a bit of flack from some Raider faithful, which I think is undeserved. But like I have fond memories of Richard Seymour. Sorry, Nate, you were going to say something?
No, Darrell Russell. He was one of my favorite defensive tackles. He was nasty. God. Out of USC, he was a bad motherfucker. What was that?
Jerry, I'll put Namdi over Max. It's an interesting one. It's different positions, but I would say Max's greatness is just a little bit more than Namdi's. But for me, like, and this is something maybe I can ask the chat, like, if you can give me your 1-word answers. Who are you taking? Max or Mac? What about you, Nate? What's your? Who are you
Khalil.
taking?
It's got to be Khalil. He did his thing. It was the one that got away. If Mac was still here,
right.
We signed the wrong. That's kind of the reason I also kind of had a issue with Carr, because I felt like we should have paid Mac instead of Carr. Mac was more important to the team than I felt like Carr was. The quarterback is an important position. I understand that, but for Khalil Mack to be considered like second tier to Derek Carr is crazy to me. So that's why I always kind of had a grudge for that issue.
Right. I had a big rant about Mac and the fact that we let him out the door back in 2018 on shout out to Benta's Just When Baby podcast. Like, you do not let generational talent walk out the door, especially in the zenith of the prime of their careers. Like, that for me was almost unforgivable. And we should have never traded him away for nothing. Just pay the guy what he rightfully deserved. But anyways, my answer would be: look, I love Max, and he's definitely considered as an all-time great in my personal opinion when it comes to the Raiders. But for me, I'm taking Mac. And salute to you, Spicy, for life, our Raiders story. Nice to see you in the feed. I'm actually asking the question for the chat to answer: who would they take, Max or Mac? But Mac for me, yeah, an all-pro at two positions, the actual defensive MVP of the league. Which is something I don't believe we've had a defensive. Have we had an MVP of any caliber on any side of the ball since the turn of the millennium? Did Rich Gannon win it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's one guy, but like Charles Woodson, was he ever named defensive MVP?
No. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. Maybe with the Packers, but not with us. I don't think
Right.
we won enough games. His second stint around. Yeah.
Notice the Rams never even considered. Right, that's the mentality we should have had with Mac. But shoulda, coulda, woulda. But for me, I love Max. But for me, Mac will always be the guy. And I still have his jersey in my closet, which I rock loudly and proudly because he's going to go down when all things are said and done. When he calls time in his career as an all-time great Raider. You know what I'm saying? And for me, I love Max, but Mac to me was a gamer, a baller, a closer, a finisher, a leader, a winner. And Max is all of those. Just for me, Mac was just that little bit better. But anyways, Woodson won Defensive Player of the Year in Green Bay. Right, but I'm talking strictly for us. I'm taking Max because of his cultural locker room impact. I think at their best, Mac is the better player, but the intangibles matter. Right. Well, I guess like Mac may have had more of a locker room impact had he stuck around, but I get what you're saying. Like Max is the face of our franchise. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, there's not really a wrong answer per se, but I'm just giving you my answer, and my answer is unanimously Khalil Mack.
No doubt.
Max hashtag national treasure. Max is excellent, but Mac was excellent 2 times. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for me, it's 1A and 1B with the greatest Raiders since the turn of the millennium on the defensive side of the ball, being that the other guy is Charles Woodson. I mean, different positions, but like in terms of greatness, you can't look past the GOAT in Charles Woodson, right?
Yeah.
And good morning to you, Sal. Nice to see you on the feed. With that said, I think Mac is a little more loyal to the silver and black. I'll give him that. Yeah, right. But like Mac just wanted to be paid what he rightfully deserved. And as much as I hated seeing him go, like I didn't see no fault of him doing what he had to do in order to get paid. And he should have been paid. It should have been us giving him the money, but we didn't. We traded him away for what? Josh Jacobs, who did work out for us, but he didn't get a second contract. And Damon Arnett.
Gruden. Hey, yeah, it's fucking, man.
Letting Mac go was a huge mistake. Another organizational fail. Right. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, but anyways, here we are. Nate, you got any other things you want to get off your chest? Otherwise, I don't know if you got to get going soon.
Yeah, no, that's it for me, guys. I'll be back next week. Y'all catch me tomorrow. Just Win Baby podcast. Y'all know what it is. Come say what's up. All that good stuff. I appreciate the chat once again. Afakasi, always, bro. All love. You know what it is.
Most of our recent rosters have been Vegemite. Look horrible and leave a horrible taste in your mouth. That it does.
Hey, no. I got some pushback on that because earlier in the summer we were like, oh, we could top 5 defense. We're gonna blow some shit up, and Antonio Pierce is gonna pull some shit out of the bag, and it's just the opposite. It's just the opposite. But yeah,
Can't things just go right for us for a change?
Mm.
I'm just waiting for the day.
Mm.
You know, my guy. Before you go, my guy Solo did a video the other day, and it really hit home for me. Where one of his opening lines is like, he hates to be negative, but like it seems like this is all we do on the content creating scene. Most of the stuff we talk about is negative. And it would be nice to one day be having these type of conversations where we're not being negative, where we're talking about like, oh, well, you know, we're rolling, we're this player away from winning a Super Bowl or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like we haven't really had those type of conversations since what,
Yeah.
2016?
These,
Like
these are these,
if you were
these,
being realistic and not just have your Raider cap on. Did I just lose Nate? Is it me or Nate? Chat, can you confirm or deny? No, he's gone. All right. I'm going to bring myself up on the screen. Just give me more. All right. The defense would be totally different if Tyree panned out and we didn't get blasted with injuries, right? Yeah, well, I've already harped on about Tyree and the lack of production from the last few draft classes, especially in the top end of the draft, where you want to be hitting on those top picks, not having to rely on the middle or the back end of it to make up for it. So, yeah, I'm not going to go on another spiel about Tyree Wilson, but he needs to start producing and doing something, right? I'm glad to finally catch you guys live. It's early as hell on the West Coast. No, I appreciate you, Severe. I've been watching you quite a bit more of late. You when you're on the panel with either PTS Chris or Pharaoh and Big Mike. Big Mike, my guy. I love that guy. So salute to you. I appreciate you giving me the time. West Side, it's Nate. Okay, I appreciate you, Nate. Well, I appreciate Nate showing up for us, but he's got to get off to work. I still got a few more minutes to chop it up with gang. I mean, if there's anybody who wants to pull up, I can drop the link. Otherwise, I might, I don't know, get about my evening. It's actually what, 11 p.m. over here. So it'd be 8 a.m. on the West Coast over there, 10 a.m. Central, and 11 a.m. Eastern, I think, if my maths is not off. Salute to Jerry, SoCal. Yeah, it is nice to see you, SoCal. If I didn't say hello to you already, my friend. Score prediction. West Side. I don't like doing scores. I really don't. I'm just going to read out yours. 45-10. It's like I said. I'm realistically expecting us to get the shit kicked out of us, so to say. It's for me nothing more than hope that it doesn't turn out to be an annihilation. And as to your comment before, Mahomes is going to be very motivated by that gesture of disrespect with the Muppet in the off season. I think that was Trey Taylor, wasn't it? So yeah, a motivated Patrick Mahomes playing against us with a Super Bowl winning Chiefs team that's still marching their way onto another playoff march towards another Super Bowl again. I don't know, man. I don't know. Well, I'll give you a stat. We've won 4 of the last 20 encounters. So since 2014, and that's cool, Nate. I understand you got to go to work, so I appreciate you giving me your time. So 4 out of 20, that's not good. I mean, we did win the last encounter with them, but I don't know, man. I'm going to be shocked if we make this a contest. That's all I'm going to say about that. And on 6, my guy, salute to you. Good morning to you, my brother. Hope all is well. Thank you for pulling up just before I sign off. Let's just hope the game isn't over before the start of the second quarter. Right. I really want to see one of these young quarterbacks in there. I don't care which one. I just, what's the worst that can happen, right? It can't be any worse than what it's already been. I I don't want to see Gardner Minshew out there. I really don't, but I think we're going to, which sucks. Ritter needs more time to learn the playbook, and I don't know, maybe they probably think Carter Bradley's just not ready. But like for me, it's just like, what do we got to lose? Just chucking a kid on a hope and a prayer. Let's see what happens. Put the Muppets in their locker room. I don't want any more motivation than what they already have, Eduardo. Yeah. Gruden's always valued offensive guys, right? We've gone defense this year, being that we thought the defense is going to be the strength, and it still is to a point, but it's hurting us, the injuries across the board, especially a lot of our key players on the defensive side of the ball, especially on the defensive line, and the lack of the next men up being able to step in and deliver, so to say. So yeah, there's a lot of holes across the board on our roster. We haven't beaten KC at home since Mahomes took over at starter. Oh, that's right. So we didn't win that game at home. That was an away game, was it? Yeah, it was an away game last year. Okay. The last time I was just trying to think. The last time we won a home game against KC was 2017. Can anybody? I've got the screen up. I'm just gonna have a look, see if I'm right. That would have been the Michael Crabtree called game. Yes, it is. That's the last time we beat KC at home. See, my memory's pretty good when it comes to Raider football. But I remember that game very well. One of my better Raider memories in what would become a very disappointing season back in 2017. With all things considered, probably the most disappointing season, other than maybe like 2022 would be up there. Within context, like, you know, these were the years where we were supposed to be marching towards not just a playoff push, but like going further than just being bounced out of the first round. And especially 2017, like we thought we were on our way to a Super Bowl, but that didn't happen. And 2022, well, we know what happened there. So yeah. Minshew needs to give that knick-knack paddywhack speech again. I never saw that. Something we might have to look at on YouTube. Didn't we win the Chiefs at their house last year? Yeah, we did. Like, he's talking about when we beat them at home for us. We beat them in Oakland. We haven't beaten them in Las Vegas. We beat them last year, and I think before that, was it 2020, when Cleve Farrell all of a sudden showed up, and we signed those interior guys off the street. One of them had recently passed. One of them was Kendall Vickers, and the other one was it something Smith, I think, who unfortunately passed away in recent times. So yeah, I remember that game too. I think Henry Ruggs, was it Henry Ruggs? No, it was Nelson Aguilar had himself a game that day. It could have been Ruggs as well, but yeah, that was an unexpected victory as well. I think that was the victory lap game where Gruden and Jonathan Abram kind of rallied the team to do a lap of victory, and I think they did another one post game. So yeah, I think that's what instigated the ring around the rosy play a few years later. So yeah, that game was a great night for me. I was on a date with this model. Ooh. And let's just say Crabtree wasn't the nice one, Severe. But yes, I remember that game very well. I remember watching that, and I was actually I was busting to take a piss on that last drive of the game, but I didn't want to miss all the action. I thought we had it won when. Do you remember? Was it Jared Cook who caught a touch? What we thought was the game-winning touchdown? Was it Cook? I think it was Cook, but it was called back, and he was marked down at like the 2 or the 1, and then we had that series of calls where it was like we were penalized when we thought we scored the game-winning touchdown, and then they were penalized when they thought they scored when they made the game-winning deflection, and then we had another play. I think it was 3 penalties, and then it was the rollout from Carr to the left, which found Crabtree in the pocket for the game-winning touchdown. So, yeah, great Raider memory. Most Raider fans who are diehard fans will still remember that game very vividly. I definitely do. As I just highlighted, I just had to reminisce a little bit. Ruggs had a huge game versus KC. Yeah, I thought so. I thought that was one of Ruggs's better games. That one and the Steelers game, which was the next year. That ring around the rosy shit was disrespectful, right? Well, a motivated Chiefs is a dangerous Chiefs, unfortunately for us. And I don't know. I'll just finish up by saying this. Like, any given Sunday, let's just do what we can. I want to see one of the new fresh faces in there at quarterback. Probably not going to happen, but that's what I personally would like to see. Make it a little bit more interesting. Just wait until this Sunday. Quiz about really disrespect as well. I don't know. I'm hoping we're all speaking this into non-existence, right? There we go. Yeah, I thought so. So up for review. Cook caught it at the 2. Then offensive play interference on Crabtree. Then defensive holding on Cordero Patterson. Then defense of Pete defensive pass incomplete. I don't know. Then the touchdown to Crabtree. Right. So I got it right for the most part. See, my memory is quite good when it comes to Raider football. But yeah, look, like, just, I don't know. Don't care how, don't care why. If they can just do what they can, play their best, play disciplined, hard-nosed football. Some of these guys that we're looking to step up that haven't yet, hopefully they can just all of a sudden just work it out. You know what I mean? Have themselves a game where we have against these teams where they have these players, usually at quarterback, all of a sudden just magically figure it out, right? Why can't it be us? So, yeah, pass interference, my bad. Had a bit of a brain fart, but salute to you. Thanks for letting me know about that. Talking about Ruggs hurts my heart for the family of the deceased, and because I think he was going to be a special player. Right, that hurts my heart as well. I remember waking up like at 4 a.m. to go take a piss, and I opened my phone and I saw the news. I'm like, oh shit, and it said like Raider player, and I didn't quite know who it was. And then when I saw it was Ruggs, I was thinking, fuck, you know, of all the players, like, it had to be Ruggs, you know. And very unfortunate. Like, that's the first and foremost thing, is that a woman and her dog lost their lives to such a tragic mistake made by Ruggs, and he lost his career. And I don't know if he's going to get another chance, but it was a full stop to what should have been a great career with the Raiders with Ruggs. He was trending upwards and proving to be the right pick at a time where, like, a lot of people scratched their heads when we chose him over Judy and over CeeDee Lamb. But he was actually starting to show out for us. And then what happened, and the rest is history, right? 100% agree with severely this treasure. Salute D Menace. Yeah, like, very unfortunate, but like at the same time, a stupid decision affected so many lives in the worst way, and just a lesson for not just him but for all of us. Don't get behind the wheel if you've been drinking or inebriated of some capacity. Like, get somebody else to drive. I mean, shit, these guys are making millions of dollars. Get yourself an Uber. Get yourself a fucking limo. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Anyways, that decision changed the trajectory for a lot of players, coaches. Well, that was the start of the bad times for the Raiders that year. And somehow, some way, we've managed to be resilient enough to make the playoffs, because that happened. Then we lost our coach. Then the Damon Arnett situation. Then Nate Hobbs was getting arrested. And then we had like a stretch of games where we were losing and we got our butts kicked by the Chiefs. And then somehow, some way, we managed to turn it around towards the end of the season. So That was a roller coaster of a year, if I don't mind saying so myself. But yeah. Anyways. All right, gang. Well, I think I'm going to wrap it up on that note. Thanks to everybody who came by and the new viewers. If you like what you see here, if you can like, subscribe, all that jazz, that would be appreciated. We usually go live on Mondays around 6 p.m. post game with my RWO guys. Shout out to Aunt Six, Raider Joe, and my guy Raider Solo. That might change next week because we're going to get on the live scene with Raider Critique and Westside Earn for our Halloween special. Stay tuned for that one. We're going to all have our own individual costumes. You're going to love what I got in store, as well as what we're doing now. So the Wake Up Nation show with myself and my guy. Salute to Nutty, Raider Nate. I see Severe, I see Earn and a few others in the chat, Refucho, who all have channels. Turf was in it earlier on 6, Raider Joe. If you guys can go follow them and subscribe, as well as For Life, our Raider story, Spicy, doing a thing. Appreciate you all. Everyone who else in the chat who just watches, you know, we can't do this without you. I can't do this without you. I mean, I don't want to be like certain other content creators who just rambles to nobody for hours on end, right? We all know who I'm talking about. But anyways, gang, much love to you all. You guys have yourselves a good day, and we'll catch you on the next one for sure. All right, Red Nation for life. Win, lose, or tie. You know what time it is? Red Nation till we what? Red Nation till we die. All right, peace, chat. We'll catch you on the flip side. Bold show. All right, peace.